welcome to FARKLE Garage. I'm Kim Roth. On today's show, the band rocks Bucky's Taphouse in Langford while we talk to you about your motorcycle adventures. Clive visits a remote cycle shop that's worth finding. Steve demos a vest that has people bouncing off the pavement. And Dar profiles a BC motorcycle ride that's music to so many ears. All this and more on this episode of FARKLE Garage.
Bucky's Taphouse.
Bucky's.
Thanks for having us.
My
The
pleasure.
destination for after every ride, right?
Absolutely.
So favorite rides this year?
Started off with a long trip down to California with Clive and some of the other guys, and that was an amazing trip going down the Oregon coast. Now we start dual sporting.
If I may just jump in here to let you guys know, that little ride down to California was, we left the border in the morning and we got to the Golden Gate Bridge and we had supper in California.
It was a long day on the bike, but we made it and it was a lot of fun.
Lots of iron butting.
Lots of iron butting, that's how we started. When Clive approached me about iron butting a few years ago, I said, like most people do, you're insane. And but I drank the Kool-Aid, and it's like, yeah, this is kind of cool. And now we're starting to do a little bit of dual sporting, which is amazing. Just open up your eyes to the rest of Victoria and the island, and hopefully the rest of the world. You never know.
Thank you for having us here today. It was just a blast.
Thanks for coming to Bucky's Taphouse, and we love being a part of FARKLE Garage.
Thunder is my sound.
You've been riding hard, you're in the middle of nowhere, and hungry. That smush sangy at the bottom of your backpack just isn't going to cut it. You need a muff pot. Yeah, you heard right, a muff pot. Fabulous little device. Bolts your exhaust, cooks your food with the heat of the exhaust going down the road. It was originally designed for snow machines, but with a little farkling, works great on your bike. First time I tried it, the wind stripped the heat away and just warmed the food. Failure. Next time, I wrapped it with a windbreak from a camping stove. Tinfoil would work too. Success. Hot smoky, anyone?
Oh yeah.
Don't be surprised when you start to get invited on more rides.
Here we go.
Hot pepperoni, grilled cheese, whatever you can dream up, it's ready when you are. Just remember to wrap whatever you're cooking in parchment paper. Search the internet for upside-down pineapple cake muff pot recipes. There's a few, really. Stay tuned. On the next WT Farkle, I'll show you a not-so-cheesy Farkle that lets you laugh at punctures on the trail rather than having to deal with this. Can I get some ketchup?
If you ride a motorcycle, chances are you've gone on a charity ride or two. 2016 marked the 15th anniversary of the Music Therapy ride, hitting their goal of 1 million raised for music therapy services in BC. We catch up with Kirsten Davis, registered music therapist at the Saanich Peninsula Hospital on Vancouver Island, to hear about the amazing effects the Bandwagon Project has had with her patients.
In motorcycles and music, they all have kind of a role of therapy to play.
Being a music therapist to me is the best job in the hospital. I enjoy it so much. It's a great combination of my interests in music and my interests in people and my interests in healing. The Bandwagon is a portable recording studio. It's all self-contained in a unit that is like a gig box. It's got everything that you need to make a professional recording.
Music therapy is used as a tool to assist hospital patients of all ages with varying illnesses, injury, or disease.
In the palliative care unit, I work with patients primarily who have end-stage cancers or organ failures, multiple sclerosis, who might have ALS.
The Bandwagon allowed Kirsten's patients to record their legacy.
I had clients who made life story recording. I had a client who made recordings of his own original songs. And then I had a patient who made a recording of his jam group.
Music has a lasting effect that triggers memories.
He had a fairly advanced stage of cancer and was not able to play, but he remembered the music. And although he might not be able to carry on a very coherent conversation at times, if he heard a song, he would be able to sing the whole thing and stay on track. Sometimes music can take someone back to better times in their life, helping them to remember times that were more positive.
Hans Christian Andersen said, "Where words fail, music speaks."
Music is stored very diffusely in the brain, so even when one part of our brain is damaged by Alzheimer's or by a stroke, it is still retained in other parts of the brain. Music is one of the last things to go.
Never underestimate the power of music.
A person's identity is strengthened through music. That's really sort of giving back to them a part of who they are, and that's so valuable, thanks to the music therapy ride.
I got a phone call and he said, "Bev," he said, "there's a garage sale full of stuff. You better get over there right now." There was this contraption with a 197 Villiers engine in it. And I thought, oh, man, Villiers. And it was a Villiers that took us all over Europe, Villiers, as you know.
The Fanny B has a Villiers in
He
it.
had the Villiers, exactly. And I asked what the history of it. She said her dad built it for us. And the whole family used to get around on this motorcycle. He built the frame, everything. The wheels were old small tractor wheels, no spokes. He had a square cast iron plate welded into the rims. So I thought, I've got to bring this thing alive again. And so this is what I'm very interested in right now.
How old are you, Aaron?
10.
You're 10. And you have a custom-made protective motorcycle suit that you're wearing.
Yes.
You're serious, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. You're in. How many kilometers have you ridden so far in a day on a motorcycle, Aaron?
900.
900, yeah.
How many?
900?
Yeah. If I can share my favorite thing with my other favorite thing, then life can't be much better than that.
After a long absence, I'm racing again. And I noticed since my glory days that the safety requirements and advancements in them have changed considerably. One thing that caught my eye was this vest that my instructor Rob Schumeyer wore during my relicensing training day at the Westwood Motorcycle Racing Club in Mission, BC. This is the Hit Air Vest. If you happen to unintentionally part company with your motorcycle, it could save your butt. My good friend Rob can attest to that. Rob, welcome to FARKLE Garage. You've crashed a few times, I know.
Yes, I have. I've crashed 7 times and it's inflated every single time.
Can you show us a little bit how they operate?
Yes, I can. This system is basically the cushion of air all around the vest. Now, when you depart from your bike, it pulls the cord out, pushing a pin into the cylinder, which releases the full amount of air in 0.2 of a second. It covers your chest, sides here, all the way up your back, tailbone, and around the neck. And it works. And it comes in full-size jacket as well.
Excellent.
It's a reusable system. Replace the air cylinder and reset the pin in there, and we're ready to go.
That's excellent, so you can just use it over and over.
You betcha.
Hopefully not, though.
Well, that's the plan.
Hey, thanks, Rob.
You're welcome, Steve.
The Hit Air Vest, added protection in a crash. Be honest now, does it make my butt look big? We'll be right back.
Imagine a commute of 30 seconds. Ken and Becky have been doing this bunny hop nearly 40 years.
Full time since September 17th of 1979.
You know, if you weren't looking for it,
You could easily miss it, and that would be a real shame.
Forget big box stores and stuffy franchises. Kenko, located in Souk, is worlds away from all that.
We're not on the beaten trail.
But they're as close as can be to their customers.
This is not a poser's paradise. This is a real motorcycle shop. And this is a real motorcycle shop owner.
Oh.
Hey, Ken.
Hi, Clive.
Good
How
to
are you
see you.
doing? Yeah.
Great. I love this place.
A retail store, a garage, and a husky dealer, catering to those who mostly ride off-road. Everyone who enters is treated like family.
How many people can you greet by name that walk in your door? 20?
Oh,
50?
More than that.
100?
Yeah, my memory's going, but quite a few. Not my last name often, just the first.
Just the first name.
Even on work orders, they just ask for a first name. So.
One of those first names is Bob. Bob the baker.
I've been baking since I was 8.
Ken brews the coffee that complements Bob's homemade lemon loaf.
Every Saturday, baking shows up for us. So it's just...
Yeah,
they're all good.
They're all good.
While Wayne wrangles a tire.
Coffee's always on.
Yeah. Well, let's have that whole family environment of this business.
Oh, and there is the phone.
Why did you start King?
I love motorcycles.
Good afternoon, Kenko.
That's pretty obvious.
Yeah, I know. I went to a couple other shops and ordered stuff, and I wasn't happy. And I thought, I could probably do a better job myself, so I thought, I'll give it a try.
Thankfully, not much has changed.
Same place, same time, same guy.
Ken and Becky and Wayne and Matt are still doing a better job.
How long have you worked here?
I think I've worked here about almost 7 years now.
Wayne's a customer turned mechanic.
Yeah, I started shopping out here when I was about 16.
Like all friends, Wayne welcomes the jobs no one else does.
We end up with a lot of older bikes because most shops in town won't touch them anymore. Do a lot of carburetors.
Wayne keeps coming back for the same reason Ken's customers do.
They're becoming old dogs with me, I think.
It's relaxed. Ken's not high pressure, and that makes my job easy. That's why I started shopping here all those years ago. The little snot-nosed kid come out here with my bike that shouldn't be running anymore, and he'll spend as much time with you on that as he does spending selling some guy a brand new fancy bike.
I don't push customers to buy anything. I should have, maybe, and I could have retired a long time ago, but...
It's never been about the money.
Seeing more people getting into motorcycling, I think. When we started, guys would come in with their kid, and now they're old enough to have kids, and some of them are fourth generation people coming here now.
Today, Kenko's biggest challenge isn't their location, it's the internet.
It's a tough go.
Still, their doors are always open.
You got to treat people right, and they'll tell a person, and then they'll tell a person, and they'll tell 3 more people, and that's kind of why we're here.
Because you can't get Bob's baking at the click of a mouse. Kenko, the family shop where customer and service will always be king and queen.
Ray, tell us a little bit about your book.
Well, essentially it's a story of how Ray was suffering from PTSD, and when he left the police force, we decided we needed to figure out if we wanted to stay together. So we sold our house, most of the stuff that we owned, and got on our bikes and rode around North America for 6 months to determine could we stay together or not. But spoiler alert, we're still together.
Awesome. If you haven't read it, you got to get out there and read it. It's Love, Laughter, and Road Rage.
One of our dreams was to go over to the Isle of Man to see the road race over there. And we had an experience of a lifetime.
It was unbelievable. Like vintage bikes, 145 miles an hour on a city street with people standing on their sidewalks watching. The race is 107 years old, and it is incredible. I'm very pleased to be there with my friend Steve.
Everywhere we stood, the bikes are going by, and they're like no more than 8 or 9 feet away from the rock walls and the ditches that are all over. The track itself is public roads, 37 miles around. Was it 37 miles around?
37 and a half miles around on this thing. It is just the craziest race. I loved it. I'm glad I was there.
What type of bike do you ride?
I have 2 sport bikes. I have a Ninja and an FZ6R. And I used to ride dual purpose, which I really enjoy as well. And that's one thing about the Women's Motorcycle Club that I really like, is that we encourage all types of bikes.
It's awesome getting out on 2 wheels.
I think, the best thing there is.
After the break, photojournalist and producer Ray McKenzie shakes off the desert sand and shares his ride to the Baja Rally. We'll be right back. Ray, welcome to the garage.
Oh, happy to be here.
You're going to be doing a lot more with us.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Team Bucky.
Yeah.
So Ray, you just rode down to the Baja.
Yep. I loaded up my camera gear on the bike and a lot of stuff, tripod, cameras, you name it, and made it all the way down to Baja, Mexico for the Baja Rally. And that's the first time I'd been there, and man, what a show. What an absolute show. There was guys riding big adventure bikes and racers from Canada, all over Europe, States, and a Canadian, Lawrence Hacking from Ontario, won the big ADV bike event. And, oh yeah, on a Honda Africa Twin. Not a Ducati, but that's coming.
So the pit area, when you pulled in, what was it like?
It was mayhem. So literally 6 hours before the race, the Mexican authorities released the sea containers, which contained all of the bikes from Europe, so UK and various other countries. So those riders had literally only a few hours to get their bikes prepped for like a 5 o'clock start. Yeah,
Talk about stress, hey?
Yeah, really stressful. I mean, these guys were on edge, and literally they worked all through the night.
Must have been panic stations, eh? Unbelievable.
Yeah, completely. And you've raced, so you know.
Yeah.
I mean, trying to get all of that stuff done, you know, and it's not a course where you're going around and around. You don't know what the course looks like.
So it's not for the faint of heart.
No, people get killed and hurt down there fairly often. But you know, fortunately this year there wasn't anything really serious.
Good.
And
That's
yeah.
good.
So how long did it take you to get down there?
It took 3 days to get to. I met up with a racer in San Francisco, and the ride down it rained literally all the way to California, and then the skies opened, and literally, so I'm driving through Klamath National Forest, and there's a road. I said, I'm riding an adventure bike. There's a dirt road, and up I went.
Perfect. A little different than the last time we rode to San Francisco, left in the morning and had supper in San Francisco.
Yeah.
So a little leisurely ride.
Exactly. And let's ride along the coast for 1,000 miles. You know, my arms are like rubber afterwards.
So was this like the first big ride you've done on the new bike?
That was actually the first really big ride that I had done on it.
And you hit the sweet spots?
Yeah, you know what? There was a lot of sweet spots.
Don't have to go into too great a detail there.
She's beautiful.
So when you had to come home, when the ride back?
The ride back was well, I mean it's in the fall, and everything was good until I reached the Oregon-Washington border. And then it was like -5.
Oh yeah.
The whole way
felt
home.
that.
It was cold. Yeah. And I mean, it's got heated grips and stuff like that, but it's
You still get cold.
cold.
Yeah.
How long was your trip completely, like from going down there and coming back?
3 weeks.
3 weeks? Oh, yeah.
And got some great video. My friends at the Baja Rally and Tint Media and Eric Hall from XLADV all helped on the video side, providing some pretty cool footage, some aerial shots. And we did some interviews with a Dakar racer from the island here,
Don Hatton. Don Hatton. Yeah. Yeah, I know Don, yeah.
So, and so we got some good video, and, you know, hopefully
I saw some of your pics on Twitter.
Yeah.
And that, like, looking over the valleys and just vistas and stuff, it was pretty amazing. Beautiful pictures.
Canadian content.
Yeah, Baja, you know, Baja's unbelievable. I had not been there before, so for me, it was such a huge experience. And, I mean, you know, whenever you're doing something new for the first time, there's just that you're pumped, you know, and I was so lucky. Eric Hall and I were driving a truck, and we stopped to see some sand dunes, and opened up the door. Helicopters coming right over the hill.
Oh, cool.
So I mean, you couldn't script it.
Thanks, Ray. Let's check out the Baja Rally.
I'm freaking nervous about riding 1,000 miles. This place will damage bikes quick. It's always kind of scary. It's in the back of my mind, at least. A lot of people have gotten hurt down here or killed. You just kind of hope that your number isn't up. What's the Baja Rally all about? No idea. I'll tell you in a week.
Like its cousin, the Baja 1000, the Baja Rally is a grueling 5-day, 1,000-mile endurance race with the added challenge of roadbook navigation. Riders receive navigation instructions on a paper scroll prior to each day's start. The box becomes the racer's turn-by-turn Bible, a necessary distraction.
I'm trying to ride my motorcycle at speed. It's bouncing around everywhere, and I'm also trying to watch my road book. A lot of bad things can happen when you're doing that. Oh, shit.
The scrolling book gives just enough information to keep the riders on the predetermined track.
These rallies, you're only allowed to use a compass or an odometer heading and a cap heading and a stick drawing.
Miss a turn, and you could add hours to your stage time searching for the route. Miss a GPS waypoint, and you will get a time penalty. Vancouver Island rider Don Hatton is a rally veteran, having raced the famous Dakar Rally 3 times.
Rallies in Tunisia, Morocco, Italy, South America. I've done rallies all over the world, and it's just been really, really a great experience.
Rookie Baja racer Chris Scranton is a middle-aged lawyer from California.
You know, the I don't know is the hardest part to deal with.
His passion is off-road riding, but he's new to roadbook navigation.
I mean, the terrain it's Baja.
Each day, a contingent of international riders begin a new stage portion of the race. Rallies become a race against time and the unforgiving terrain.
It's gut-wrenching because their helicopters are constantly coming in with bikes dangling off it. And Natalie and I have really never been in a rally where there hasn't been someone killed.
Don knows all too well the perils Chris will face. He's never fully recovered from a crash at the Dakar Rally 7 years ago.
I hit a jump I wasn't expecting at a speed of 140 kilometers an hour, and I broke both my shoulders, my sternum, 8 ribs, lacerated my lungs, and bruised my heart.
On day 2, Chris hits his own wall.
It was probably 30 seconds out of the gate. And crashed, went over the bars in the dunes. It was just kind of a foreshadowing what was to come all day long. I crashed probably 5 times.
Early on, veteran rider Don Hatton is out of the running.
My rally didn't start out too well with the 2 mechanicals early, so there's no chance of winning it. My goal for this rally, I just want to finish it.
For Chris, the race goes on. Each day, a new challenge. Riding dawn till dusk.
1,000 miles is 1,000 miles, and Baja is never gentle.
She takes her toll on riders and race teams who work well into the night mending machines for the next day's stage.
You prep for it, and it's like a sprint and a marathon all at one time.
From the start, these riders meet the challenge of the Baja head-on.
And you just keep going. You're gonna be tired, you're gonna be sore, your bike's gonna be breaking.
Of the 81 entrants, only 56 would finish. Amazingly, in the end, just 15 seconds separate the winner from second place.
I knew I wasn't winning anything, I just needed to finish.
Both the veteran rally racer and the rookie lawyer finish out of the running. Still, Chris is happy with his result.
I navigated really well, and that's what I probably felt the best about. That's something I'd struggled with all week.
Fortunately, there were no fatalities and only a few injuries, a testament to the rally's organizers. For Chris, finishing was its own reward.
But I'm proud of what I got to be a part of. All the people who I was with, that was probably the best part.
Despite the danger and the uncertainty.
Why do this Baja Rally? I don't know why I do anything. I mean, it's a challenge.
Because in the end, it is not whether you win or lose.
I would rather spend my time living than being afraid of living.
It is what makes you feel alive.
We hope you enjoyed hanging out with us at FARKLE Garage. Have you got a story or know someone who does? Send us an email, share it with us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and we'll share it with the world. Oh, and if you want my advice, life's short. Buy the damn motorcycle. Later, bitches.
Strap on my brothers, boots are on the ground. Crack the throttle, hear that rumbling playing in my head.
Riding gear provided by Clive. Technical riding gear.
Robbers on the road, wind in my face, riding down the highway. Heaven is the place I'm rolling on. Rolling down the highway, thunder is my song.